Hello everyone, I'm Juliet Mulholland and I'm a colleague council member from the East of England, representing your views and Co-op's values in the decisions our board and leaders make. Our Co-op has had a retail crime campaign since 2018, when the issue was raised and championed by my fellow colleague council members, bravely sharing their stories at a council meeting. I'm so proud of the campaign it has become and the way our Co-op has worked with member owners, other cooperatives, the retail industry and the government to influence change. I'd like to say thank you to you, our member owners, for your continued support and participation in this campaign, including voting overwhelmingly in favour of a motion on continuing to tackle retail crime and the root causes of it at our 2024 AGM. We're here to bring you an update on the work we've been doing and what's to come. I'm joined today by one of our board members, Margaret Casely-Hayford, who was elected by you as a member-nominated director. Our board recommended our retail crime and reoffending motion as the safety of our colleagues and the people living in the communities we serve is of the utmost importance to our Co-op. Our board also strongly believes that we have a key role to play as a cooperative in using our resources and platform to lobby for social action and change on the cycle of reoffending. We also have our Director of Campaigning and Public Affairs, Paul Gerrard, with us as the lead on the campaign for our Co-op. Paul, I'll come to you first. What's the latest on our work to lobby government on stronger protection for shop workers?
Thanks, Jules. Hi everyone. The Co-op and our member owners have led the call for stronger protection for shop workers against violence for nearly 8 years. This has resulted in a standalone offence already being introduced in Scotland and the creation of the police's first ever retail crime action plan in October 2023. Since our 2024 AGM, the government has committed to making assaulting a shop worker a standalone offence, and that will become law later this summer. This is a wonderful achievement and a direct impact of our campaigning. Perhaps I would say that, but the Home Secretary, who is bringing the legislation forward, was clear last September that the Co-op, together with Usdaw, have been the critical factors in their decision. I'm really proud of how our Co-op has continued to be the most influential voice on this issue, and it's all thanks to our different way of doing business.
Amazing news. That is such a significant milestone for Co-op, our colleagues, our communities and the wider industry. Thank you so much to you and your team for taking this issue forward on behalf of Co-op and getting results for shop workers. I know this campaign really brought to life what it means to be a movement as well, which I can't help but resonate with considering we're in the UN International Year of Co-ops. The top priority in all of this is obviously keeping our colleagues, customers and members safe when they're shopping or working in our stores. Please can you tell us a bit more about the partnerships and measures we've been putting in place to support this?
Of course, Jules. Over the last 3 years, we've worked tirelessly with police forces to engage them more meaningfully, resulting in an increasing number of successful partnerships and better outcomes for our colleagues and our stores. I mentioned the Retail Crime Action Plan at the start, so I just want to highlight that because of our campaign championing the creation of the plan, we've seen a marked improvement in police attendance and action in our stores since 2023. Before that action plan, the police only attended 22% of times where we had the offender detained in our stores, but since its launch in October 2023, they are now attending nearly 70% of times. Within the Co-op, we have created more than a dozen specific partnerships with key police forces to tackle retail crime. And in 2024 alone, we have seen more than 400 offenders managed just through those partnerships, which is 160% more than last year. We've seen 97 years worth of prison sentences handed down, rehab orders and criminal behaviour orders. On a practical level, we're always looking for solutions to reduce and prevent crime from happening in the first place. We've spent nearly £240 million to date on colleague safety tools, including body cameras, secure kiosks. On average, we spend 3 times the sector average per store on security and safety measures. More importantly, the combination of our investment, our partnerships and the improved police response means that we see, according to reports from the British Retail Consortium and the Association of Convenience Stores, less crime in our Co-op stores than the sector as a whole. There is still too much crime and too many of our colleagues get hurt. But for the first time in nearly 8 years, I can see the situation in our Co-op beginning to improve at a national level. More to be done, but there are green shoots.
Thanks so much, Paul. That's real progress. And while the stats are hard hitting, they really demonstrate what cooperation has helped to achieve. Margaret, I know the board has emphasised the importance of tackling the root causes of retail crime from the start. Please can you share some highlights of the key work that's taken place on this and what we're doing on the back of last year's motion?
Absolutely, Jules. It's great to be with you all, and I'd like to echo your thank you to Paul, his team, and everyone who's played a part in tackling retail crime since the campaign began. I'd also like to thank our National Members Council for raising and championing this really important issue. It's true to say that it's been Co-op members that have driven this campaign, writing tens of thousands of emails and letters, signing petitions and posting on social media. It's those members who've convinced the politicians to tackle retail crime, as they are now doing. And the Home Secretary herself, just last September, acknowledged the role our Co-op has played, as you can see here.
And yes, after years of Co-op and USDOR campaigning, this Labour government will introduce a new law on assaults on shop workers, because everyone has the right to work in freedom from fear.
Of course, we want to keep colleagues safe in the long term, not just for now or next week. What this means is tackling reoffending, because more than 70% of those who attack our colleagues and stores are prolific and persistent offenders. Sometimes what stops that pattern of offending will be prison, but sometimes it will need different forms of intervention like rehabilitation, support to secure employment after release from prison or detention, or other means of securing justice. To emphasise Paul's point on the power of partnerships and cooperation, having effective local connections in our communities is crucial to address the deep-seated causes of retail crime. To date, we've invested over 1.3 million on more than 400 projects doing exactly this, and a further 44 million on 16,000 projects delivering services that government policy suggests will help to reduce crime in a community. We support programs like Offender to Rehab, which ensure serial prolific offenders driven by substance abuse get the support they need to kick their habit and stop offending, and it works. We're also increasingly working with organisations like the New Futures Network to support ex-offenders back into work, because we know employment will often prevent reoffending and will help break the otherwise vicious circle. And we continue working with a range of stakeholders to bring together what a comprehensive response from public bodies and private business would look like to stop reoffending.
Fantastic. That really is a welcome update. Thanks both. And thank you to all our member owners for tuning in and being part of our co-op.